Hi Tumblr, it is day 4 of the video challenge, and today I'm going to tell you guys about some difficult experiences I've had. I think the first kind of set of difficult experiences I have, because they seem to come in triples or pairs or however. The first set was summer before 6th grade, and we were changing schools. We'd left the church we'd been going to basically since we'd moved to Atlanta, all of that, and my grandmother passed away, and I found out on my birthday, and that was really devastating for me because I used to spend summers in St. Louis with my grandma. Like, that woman was the world to me. She was the sweetest woman anyone had ever met. And then also that same summer, I had a cousin who was taken off life support. He had had cancer since he was a child, and he was like my big brother. Now, I don't have any brothers, I don't have any older siblings, and he was the closest thing I had to it. So to lose him was pretty devastating also. I think that summer is when I made the turning point from being a really sociable child and like being friends with everyone to being really withdrawn and closed within myself. It really changed how I interacted with others. I think my next difficult experience, which it kind of dragged on and on for years, was right about 10th grade, and my mother and my dad started having a lot of problems in their marriage. I knew my parents argued, stuff like that, but I guess it came to a point where my mom felt like something drastic had to be done to make a point, and she left. She mentioned it in passing, but I didn't think she was really going to do it, and she left, and that really hurt myself and my sister and my dad, and it made me feel like she didn't love us. She didn't want to be there. She was so angry that she would just up and leave and wouldn't take us with her, anything like that. And my mother has apologized for that since then. She came back after the end of that summer. She apologized for it and said she didn't think it all the way through, and she realized how much it hurt us. But that was really difficult for me because I felt like that's my mom. Like, she should never leave me. She should never want to leave me. I told her I hated her that summer, and it was difficult for me to say, but I think that's how I felt at the time. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my mother. Me and my mom have an awesome relationship now, but at that time, that was a really big thing. Like, come on now, you're my mom. And for the next few years, parents kind of took turns with who was going to leave. One would come home, the other one would leave, the other would come home. It was back and forth, and then they finally decided to get a divorce my senior year of high school, and that was another set of difficult experiences. You're graduating high school, you're getting ready to leave home, do things on your own. It should be an awesome time to you, right? Hey, I get to live on my own, do whatever the hell I want to. I don't have to listen to nobody's rules, stuff like that. But my parents were getting divorced. My dad's mother, she passed away, and it was, I felt like I needed to be home and to have to go through the divorce with my sister, because she was going to be left in that situation, and she was going to be the person we had to deal with the custody battles and all that stuff. If I could have taken my sister with me and raised her on my own and not had to deal with my parents, I would have at that time if I was able to. I think that the next set of difficult experiences I had was when I dropped out of college and joined the military. I did not want to join the military at all. That was nothing I had ever seen for my life. Both my parents were in the military. They were in the Army. And I was like, I would never join the military. That's not for me. I don't want to do that. I don't like taking direction from people who I know aren't smarter than me and having to listen to somebody just because they got rank. Well, here I am, almost 4 years later. But, it was a point where I wasn't going to school, so that meant I moved back home. I did not have a good enough paying job that I could live by myself how I wanted to. I damn sure couldn't pay to go to school. I was going to be taking a class at the community college to pay for school and living expenses. But that was really difficult for me because I fought that tooth and nail because I was like, that's something I would never ever do. But I womaned up and I realized it's what I needed to do, because had I not joined the military, who knows where I would be right now. You know, I'd be back home in Atlanta doing God knows what, getting into God knows what, because when I tell you I could be a little wild, that's what I was busy doing. But that was really difficult for me to kind of come to realization that I'm going to have to sacrifice some of these freedoms and things that I want to do and have for the greater good, because it's what I needed. But yeah, those are some difficult experiences I've had.